Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of the Bytes podcast, episode 107 of the podcast. I'm Ramon, Mejia. I'm flying solo today. Every podcast, we bring you the round of the week's best geek and tech news. We discuss that news and, of course, absolutely anything else that we're interested in, this case, me. In geek news this week, I'll be talking about the leaked FBI spy tools, Star Wars spoilers, the just caused casting for that movie they're making out of that video game, movie trailer showdown, and of course much more. But of course we begin our show though with geek news. And the first story we're talking about this week is Vault 7. Boom, boom, boom. Now, this week, WikiLeaks published a set of 8,761 documents they call Vault 7, allegedly taken from a secure network at CIA headquarters. Man, those guys are getting good. The documents described remote exploits, hacking tools, including 24 weaponized exploits for Android and 14 for iOS. iOS is not immune to this kind of stuff. One exploit targeted Samsung smart TVs for credential extraction. WikiLeaks says the archive appears to have been circulated among former U.S. government hackers and contractors in an unauthorized manner, identifying information of CIA targets, and much of the code base was redacted by WikiLeaks before publication. So basically, the FBI is, or in this case, the CIA is watching you, or can watch you through your television, through your phones. You can basically turn your mobile devices into listening and video watching devices so that they can spy on you, if that's what they were looking to do. I think for most people, this is a thing that they're not too concerned with, but it does make other people's quite, uncomfortable to think that the CIA has this much power. Now, Apple and Android have both already responded to this, saying that they have already fixed most of these exploits, and of course, they'll be working on fixing the rest of them that are in their code. So there we go. Now, next story. Gonna go with Elon Musk. On Twitter, Elon Musk promised Allison CEO Mike Cannon-Brookes that Tesla would get a 100 megawatt battery storage farm installed and working in South Australia 100 days from the contract signature, or it would be free. Musk said Tesla would charge $250 per kilowatt hour. Now, Cannon-Brookes said that he would need 7 days to sort out politics and funding. Now, South Australia has suffered from blackouts during a heat wave, in part due to the closing of coal-fire-based plants across the country. So Australia has a blackout, and Elon Musk comes out on Twitter and says, hey, we'll set up a nice one of our new battery storage units so that you can have batteries to power your homes. Maybe they might install a nice solar farm as well. You don't know. But this is kind of a cool project. I think it's really good that Elon Musk is putting his company out there and putting out his solar farm projects so that he can solve an actual energy crisis in Australia. But it is kind of mark of the way that the future is going, to me, at least. Okay, and let's go on to some entertainment news. We have Star Wars, The Last Jedi spoilers. Okay, now if you don't want to hear these spoilers, just fast forward about a minute or two-ish, and you should skip them. Okay, now this year at the Walt Disney's annual meeting of shareholders, there was a sizzle reel explaining the values and ideals of the Coal and Company. Of course, there also were some nice TV spots and some a sizzle reel for Star Wars: The Last Jedi. So the stuff that they'd already filmed and put together for shareholders to show, hey, these are the cool things we're working on. And of course, it's been leaked. At least the descriptions have. Now, it begins with an interior shot from Star Wars: The Last Jedi featuring Luke Skywalker, saying, "Who are you?" And of course, this is hypothesized to be the very first line that he has in the new film when it comes out. It's assumed he's talking to Rey. Additionally, there are shots of Poe Dameron on his X-Wing yelling, "It's now or never," as it cuts back to BB-8. Then fighters are flying through a lineup of the Resistance fleet. Then Chewbacca roars, the shot of Captain Phasma. She's alive, apparently, so that's interesting. Finn dressed up as a First Order officer on the bridge of a First Order ship. Sounds like infiltration. Actress Kelly Marie Tran was standing to Finn's left, also dressed in a First Order uniform. And there are several shots of Rey igniting and spinning Luke's lightsaber. Rey's hand in slow motion with all 5 fingertips touching the ground and pebbles of dirt hovering above her head. So very much like the training on Dagobah. Leia turning to the camera with a hologram of the fleet behind her. So, yeah. Additionally, there's a shot of an X-Wing flying into a hangar. And there's also a wide shot of an island with Rey out on the point of a ridge practicing with the lightsaber as Luke is further up on the ridge, creepily looking down on her. Well, I added the creepy part, but he does look down at her according to the reports. And so that is the, leaked information for the Star Wars sizzle reel that was shown at a Disney shareholders meeting. It looks kind of cool to me. I'm sure they're going to put it together for a trailer for everyone else at some point in the future. So you probably shouldn't have to wait too long to get that new information. Okay, also in some entertainment news, Avatar 2, if you were looking forward to it, you're probably the only one, but it has been pushed back until 2018, and it won't hit theaters until then. So it has had several delays of a very long decade time. We'll actually be doing a commentary track for the original Avatar. One of our Patreon supporters had that's one of his reward requests for us to do a commentary track on a movie, and he picked Avatar. So I'll be doing that if nothing else. Hopefully me and Edgar can get together so we can both comment on that movie as we watch it, and we'll put it up for our Patreon supporters to listen to as they watch the movie. So it's like we're all hanging out together. Yay. Okay. In more entertainment news, of course, we have casting news for Just Cause. If you've ever played that game, it's very explodey, very open sandbox, can kind of destroy anything you want to. It's a very action-oriented game. And apparently they're making it into a live-action film. So who would have guessed? Another video game movie that's being made into a movie. So there you go. But actor Jason Momoa has been cast as the main character, the protagonist, Rico Rodriguez. Oh, yeah. And the San Andreas director Brad Payton will helm and produce the film. So there you go. Aquaman is going to be flying through the skies on a paraglider while shooting at people on the ground, causing explosions. Okay. Also, the Inhumans. This one's kind of cool. We got some behind-the-scenes shots. They're filming the Inhumans now. They've actually also have a release date for the project. So that's kind of cool. Apparently, it's going to be September the 1st of this year when that TV series is going to come out. Now, if you don't know who the Inhumans are, Space Mutants. There you go. That's kind of what you can think of them as. But they're filming now. You can actually see in one of these shots here, one of the, I forget his name off the top of my head, but he's that big space dog with a tuning fork on his head that can teleport. We have a shot of him, sort of, but it's, of course, a blue screen production. Then we have a couple of the cast members in their costumes. So there you go. It's kind of cool. Okay. Also, in more cast, more scene behind the scene shots, we have our first look at the upgraded Batmobile for the Justice League movie. And man, there were a lot of guns. So this is almost harkening back to the, was it 1989 Batman? So where the guns pop out and they shoot and stuff. Not really the kind of Batman that I was looking for. The Batman I know doesn't like to use guns, but you know what? That's me. Batfleck apparently is cool with, shooting people and ricochets happening and potentially murdering people. Heck, Superman seems to be okay with killing people if he has to. So, whatever. Speaking of some other great shots that have come out, Thor Ragnarok in Entertainment Weekly this week, there are some new set photos that were released, and they're very colorful. A lot more than that movie series has been in the past. We have a bunch of people, including the main character, Thor, with his hair chopped off. He doesn't have his magical hammer. Instead, he has a shield. And the rumors are, of course, that this is going to be Thor Ragnarok. Instead, is going to be Planet Hulk comboed with a buddy travel film between Thor and the Hulk. So that seems kind of cool. But there are, of course, those cool movie screenshots, including Jeff Goldblum looking very interesting. Okay. X-Men stuff. Patrick Stewart, who plays Professor X in the X-Men film, had recently announced that he was going to retire from being Professor X after the Logan movie, because he, in that movie, things happen. I guess I won't spoil it because it's not that long since it came out. But he decided, along with Hugh Jackman, that they would both be retiring from those roles. And this week he said he may be not. This might be because Logan had such a good response, especially to his more adult version of Professor X, where he gets very cursy. Speaks some very, very naughty Professor X things, to be honest. But he said he would be interested in revisiting the role of Professor X if he could be in Deadpool 2, or if he could be on Legion, which is a FX television show. So, which is really good, actually. And Legion is the son of Charles Xavier, who would be Professor X. So those are actually very mature adult versions of the X-Men franchise. So I can see why Patrick Stewart would like to take on those more challenging roles. And it, of course, without the restraints of being a PG kind of film. So I get it. And I'm sure the money doesn't hurt either. Okay, we're almost done, folks. It's always a shorter episode when it's just me. We're on to the movie trailer showdown. We have our first trailer, which includes Wonder Woman. This is an amazing trailer. Just came out. You can see it on the thing. We even make it bigger for you, just because it's me here by myself. Actually, this is more of an origin trailer for Wonder Woman, Diana. There's a ton of great sound effects, which you're not hearing with this because it's just a visual thing. But it's going to be, little Diana training and hints of her extraordinary abilities. There are actually hints that she might be part goddess, which is kind of a cool. Wonder Woman has a bunch of origin stories in the comic books, and that's just one of them. So, as an FYI, but it's a really cool trailer. The second trailer we're considering this week for the movie trailer show, and of course, the The Little Mermaid. This is not the Disney version of that particular movie. It is instead it's more based on the original fairy tale. A reporter and his niece go to a circus, and they find what appears to be an actual mermaid. And, of course, he falls in love. She's beautiful. She can't escape without her soul. Which the bad guy who runs the circus apparently has. He's some kind of sorcerer. But to be honest, this looks very made for TV, in my opinion. But it's, if you're into Little Mermaid, this is a thing that people are interested in. Now, the third one, this one is actually the Atomic Blondie, starring, I forget her name, sorry. It is Charlize Theron, which is apparently her next venture into the action movie franchise. I believe this is the first time she's done anything this action-y since Flexion. Of course, unless you consider the Fast and the Furious franchise. I think she's in the latest version of that movie series. But she's tried it before. Hasn't really worked out for her, but I hope she does well. This is spycraft, sensuality, savagery, but it's really just Jason Bourne with a girl to me. I mean, I hope it's better than that, but, that's what it looks like. Very much so. So check it out if you're interested. But of these three, for me, if you can't tell by the comment I've already given, Wonder Woman is definitely the winner. This is just amazingly beautiful. It combines a historic period piece with almost a fantasy setting, almost combining like Roman gladiators and World War I epic. Done very well. Beautiful, amazing scenery. You can tell they've thrown a lot of money and time and effort in all these props and all these actors and actresses. Really well done, in my opinion. So that is it, ladies and gentlemen. The show is basically over. I'll leave the trailer playing for you guys in the background. But of course, if you want to support the podcast, you can find out all the ways to do so at geekbytespodcast.com/support. And that includes just doing easy things like liking us on Facebook, on Twitter, sharing, your favorite episode. Just hit that share button and broadcast it to the world. Doesn't cost you anything. But of course, you could also do amazing other things like supporting the podcast by buying our merch. If you click on our Amazon affiliate links and buy stuff there, we get a couple pennies per dollar you spend. Those are always great ways to help support the financial cost of the podcast as well. But of course, just another easy way, just leave a review on iTunes. on Stitcher, on Google, wherever. Just click. Hey, all those stars, reviews, they help other people find the podcast if you enjoy it. That's it. But thanks a lot for listening and watching, folks. It's always a pleasure to talk to you about the geeky things that I enjoy watching and listening to. And of course, you can always check out other podcasts, the Lit RPG podcast, if you're interested in video game mechanics in a fantasy or sci-fi world. Great genre. I love doing that podcast as well. But for the Geek Bytes podcast, I'm Ramon Mejia. And until I see you again, remember to go geek out about something.